Something terrifying is happening right now, and nobody's talking about it. The most peaceful country on Earth, the one nation that swore never to touch a weapon again after suffering the world's only nuclear attack, is now building weapons that make the US military look, well, outdated. Japan. Yeah, that Japan, the land of anime and cherry blossoms. They're not just preparing for war anymore, they're preparing to dominate it. And if you think this doesn't affect you, oh, you're dead wrong.
Japan is arming itself like it never has before. The Defense Ministry has now asked for a nearly 12% budget increase this year to finance the acquisition of warships and long-range cruise missiles.
Look at this weapon. This isn't some sci-fi movie prop. This is real. Japan just built an electromagnetic railgun that can slice enemy warships in half like a hot knife through butter. No explosions, no missiles, just pure electromagnetic energy traveling at speeds that make bullets look slow. And here's the crazy part. The United States, with all its military might and trillion-dollar defense budget, still hasn't figured out how to make this work. But Japan, they cracked it. But wait, there's more. Way more. Just this month, Japan sent its warship JS Chokai to the United States to be fitted with the most advanced Tomahawk missiles in existence. These aren't your average missiles, okay? These things have a range of over 2,500 kilometers. That means Japan can fire these from Tokyo and hit targets in, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that far. By 2027, Japan plans to have 400 of these monsters in their arsenal. 400. That's not defense capability. That's offense capability at a terrifying scale. Now, here's where it gets interesting. See, Japan has this thing called Article 9 in their constitution. It literally says, and I'm not making this up, we will never maintain war potential. After World War II, after witnessing the horror of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, after being the only country ever to experience nuclear warfare firsthand, Japan made a promise. Never again. No army, no offensive weapons, just peace. For 70 years, they kept that promise. Their military recruitment ads looked like something out of a peaceful anime. Baby pink colors, words like peace and harmony. Compare that to American military ads, all that fierce warrior energy, explosions, intense music. Japan wasn't just different, they were the opposite of militaristic. The US even wrote into a treaty that they would protect Japan. So Japan thought, why spend billions on defense when America's got our back? Smart move, right? They took all that money and poured it into technology, electronics, and cars. And we all know how that turned out. Sony, Toyota, Honda. Japan became an economic powerhouse. Hold on, before we go any further, let me ask you something. If you're watching this video right now and you're not subscribed, why? Like, seriously, we're breaking down the most important geopolitical shift happening right now, stuff that could literally reshape the world you live in, and you're just casually watching? Nah, hit that subscribe button. Do it now, because what comes next is gonna blow your mind, and you'll want to be here when we drop the next one. Trust me. All right, let's get back to it. 2012, that's when everything shifted. A man named Shinzo Abe became prime minister with one mission: make Japan strong again. And he wasn't playing around. Abe increased Japan's self-defense force from 50,000 to 250,000 troops. He formed the Quad Alliance with the US, Australia, and India to counter China's dominance in the Indo-Pacific. And here's the genius move. He reinterpreted Article 9. Now, technically, Japan still can't start wars, but Abe found a loophole. He said, what if our ally is under attack? Can't we help them defend themselves? And boom, collective self-defense was born. Suddenly, Japanese troops could fight, but only if they're helping a friend. Smart, right? Under Abe's leadership, Japan built 1,000 warplanes, 48 destroyers, and a fleet of advanced submarines. They became the biggest importer of US F-35 stealth fighters, beating out countries like Britain and France. And by the time Abe was done, Japan had become the 6th largest military spender in the world. Unfortunately, Abe resigned in 2020 due to health issues, and in July 2022, he was assassinated. But his legacy? Oh, it's alive and thriving.
So why the sudden urgency? Why is Japan militarizing at breakneck speed? 3 words: surrounded by enemies. Threat number 1, North Korea. North Korea has been abducting Japanese citizens for decades. One of them was a 13-year-old girl named Megumi Yokota. She was taken in 1977, never came back. Nobody knows what happened to her. And she wasn't alone. Hundreds of Japanese people have been kidnapped by North Korea. Some turned into spies, others, we just don't know. And it gets worse. North Korea has fired ballistic missiles over Japan, not near it, over it, 4 times without warning. Alarms blaring, trains stopped, people running for shelter. Each time it's a reminder, we can hit you anytime we want. Oh, and did I mention North Korea has nukes? Yeah, fun times. Threat number 2, China. Then there's China, the big one. A few months ago, China fired ballistic missiles that landed just 100 kilometers from Japanese territory, right in Japan's exclusive economic zone. That's basically China saying, stay out of Taiwan's business or else. And here's the thing, Japan can't stay out of Taiwan. Why? Because Taiwan is literally 110 kilometers away from Japan's southernmost island. If China invades Taiwan, the war comes to Japan's doorstep. Plus, Japan's trade routes run right past Taiwan. If China controls those waters, Japan's economy is strangled. And let's not forget, 90% of Japanese citizens believe Japan should defend Taiwan if China attacks. That's how serious this is. Oh, and China also claims the Senkaku Islands, islands that belong to Japan, as their own territory, just like they do with India's Arunachal Pradesh. Classic China move. Threat number 3, Russia. And then there's Russia. Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 was a wake-up call for the entire world. Even Germany, a country with a pacifist mindset just like Japan, immediately boosted its defense budget by $113 billion. Japan's former president Fumio Kishida summed it up perfectly. Ukraine today may be East Asia tomorrow. Russia also has a territorial dispute with Japan over the Kuril Islands, islands rich in fishing grounds, oil, and natural gas. And to flex its power, Russia keeps deploying missile defense systems there. And if all that wasn't enough, Japan's biggest ally might be abandoning them. In March 2024, former US President Donald Trump called the Japan-US Security Treaty non-reciprocal. His exact words, "We protect them, but they don't have to protect us. Who makes deals like that?" Translation, America's getting tired of being Japan's bodyguard. So now Japan is realizing we can't depend on anyone else. If we don't protect ourselves, nobody will. So what's Japan doing about it? October 2024, Japan announced it's equipping submarines and army units with long-range cruise missiles and anti-ship missiles. AI-powered drone fleets now patrol Japan's seas, skies, and underwater zones 24/7. A Joint Operations Command Center has been established, basically a war room ready to activate at any moment. Japan's 2025 defense budget? $57 billion, and for 2026, a record-breaking $60 billion, making them the 3rd largest military spender in the world, jumping from 6th place. That's more than the entire GDP of Bolivia. So here's the big question. Is this the return of Imperial Japan, the ruthless military empire that committed atrocities across Asia during World War II? Honestly, I don't think so. This isn't aggression. This is survival. Japan is facing existential threats from 3 nuclear-armed neighbors. North Korea is unpredictable, China is expansionist, Russia is volatile, and the US might not always be there to help. In this situation, Japan militarizing isn't just reasonable, it's necessary. But here's what's really interesting. This shift doesn't just affect Japan, it reshapes the entire Indo-Pacific power balance. For India, this is huge. The India-Japan defense partnership is now expanding beyond just naval exercises. We're talking technology sharing, AI development, cybersecurity cooperation, and semiconductor supply chains. This isn't just a military alliance anymore. It's a geotechnological and geoeconomic revolution. Australia, South Korea, the Philippines, everyone in Asia is watching Japan's transformation closely. Because if Japan, the most peaceful nation for 70 years, feels the need to arm itself to the teeth, then the message is clear. The world is becoming more dangerous, and nobody can afford to stay unprepared. So, yeah, Japan isn't just preparing for war, they're preparing to survive in a world where peace can't be taken for granted anymore. What do you think? Is Japan doing the right thing, or are we heading towards something darker? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I actually read them. And if this video made you think, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to know this, and subscribe because we're covering the stories that actually matter. See you in the next one.